as for our name, all of our activities are mostly art-based, and we want to first trace, so tracing back the history, tracing to reveal history, and locating patterns. And then there is we're stacking and overlapping materials, activating and accumulating stuff over and over. And then finally, play is kind of like the spirits we have, as we're having right now is the closing today. That we have unfixed parts continuously change through interaction and seeking out the potential for generating new connections, concepts, and influences. The annual exhibition is one of the important activities we host as a collective. But aside from exhibitions, we also participate in conference, we write together, we have bi-monthly gatherings online to support each other and talk about stuff in our life. So today we have all the participating researchers here for this exhibition and guests online and some in person. We will then go on kind of share, each of us to share what we feel of the exhibition, what we did. So with that, and I will introduce myself. I'm Lingran, because you all know we have. And I will turn it to Anastasia, who has the installation near the entrance that marks the beginning of the installation. Because we studied music education, I've never seen a gallery be used like this, with so many hands-on interactions from the visitors or the participants, and their contributions become part of the installation as well. So this year I'm like, maybe I should try something myself too. And then this idea for exploring themes related to self-care came up in mind. It's a stressful period of time. Everyone is having so many responsibilities, so many rules, so many deadlines to meet. I'm writing my candidacy this semester, and then conferences and everything. But then it's important to take time for yourself, to take care of yourself. Then you could take care of others who are surrounded by you. So I was thinking, if we invite participants to share what they do, to take a moment for themselves, we could also possibly inspire others to try out something similar too. So I have provided postcards for people to write on or to draw on. And it's Valentine's Day when we open it, so those themed little balloons to try to give a little bit vibe to make people feel everyone's being loved, and remember to love yourself and love others too. And this year is really a huge shift from last year too, and participating in the exhibition in a different way surely gives me a complete new experience too. And I'm grateful for having everyone here, both in person and online, to make this happen. So yeah, that's my little installation back there.
I wasn't imagining myself in this space. I was thinking that research is something unimaginable. I wasn't able to imagine myself in this space. And for the last year, I had experienced research fully by writing and experiencing my master thesis. So my activity is related and involves the realization of this exchange. That you are not taking something, some information, some experience from people around, but you're also giving something and change the environment with your presence, with your ideas, and they could be different. It's not about positive or negative one way. It's just about being part of something. Joy, sadness, happiness, disappointment, whatever it is. Yeah, so I think it was a good idea, and I'm definitely a part of it. And I'm grateful for people around. I was kind of like, I'm defending my master thesis in a month, and I was so happy to have this kind of distraction for myself, just to come and play as well.
Do you want to share more about your installation?
Yeah, it actually has 3 parts: feel, pause, take. First, I'm asking to reflect on any feelings you're experiencing for the moment. maybe after visiting the exhibition, maybe just to brought something with you, maybe you are going to take out something of it. Then I asked to post it, to post your feelings, to write your feelings, to write your emotion. And I was offering a gift to everyone who is leaving something. It's like a small piece of glass, but it's beautiful, it's pretty. I hope Noor is showing. Cheers. Yeah, and this is how I think it's a good materialization of emotions. They are crystal, they are of all colors and all shapes. I think it was also from thinking about something, making up something. It's like the beginning, and then being a part of something. It's like the same transition that I experienced through all my recent period of life. First, you cannot imagine yourself here, then you start doing something, then all of a sudden you become part of it, and then you realize yourself being part of it. I think this is cool, and for me it feels important. I like to talk a lot and to feel a lot, to reflect a lot, and I also realized in my graduate experience that something tangible is also important, and yeah, that's why actually you can take something.
And looking for a physical venue to gather. But now, because you graduated, it becomes,
virtual.
Yeah, it's like virtual again.
Virtual again.
Yeah, I also think it's a critical moment for us all to think about how do we continue to do the work that we have once everybody graduated, right?
My name is Aelim, and I'm a PhD candidate in Ohio State. Also, currently I'm in Arkansas now, working as an art education fellow. So this is my first time participating in the TLP exhibition and replay event remotely. And honestly, it feels a little strange. Because when we first started the TLP in 2020, our goal was to be physically connected in the real space in the middle of the pandemic. But now here I am joining virtually. So over the years, I've shared not just our research, but also our personal lives, our progress, challenges, and celebrations, and even struggles in this community. Our meetings have been filled with laughter, encouragement, stories, and support. For me, TLP has been a vital part of my doctoral journey. Through this collaborative project, we brainstormed what we want to do, explore as a grad student and as a researcher, as an artist, developed our research frameworks, exchanged feedback, and even envisioned future directions together. Personally, translator play has helped me answer the fundamental questions about my own research and art making process. I had questions with a long time, even before joining doctoral programs, of how the thinking and making relate to each other, and where do theory and practice intersect, and how the ideas and materials inform one another. So through this journey, what I will realize is that these elements are all interconnected in a circular and organic process. So this experience has allowed me to rethink my work, revisit its origins, and ultimately reimagine and remap the entire creative process. This year, I worked and virtually. So I made a virtual space within one place with no order. It's all mixed in my mind. So. And thank you all for being part of this journey with me. And I'm so grateful to be here, even from a distance in Arkansas. Thank you so much.
It's been a great way to see art education actually being put into the gallery space. I feel like a lot of contemporary art education is kind of used in the same way, in a sense. So like, when you look at like museum education, it's definitely more curtailed to museums and not more community spaces, which I would categorize this into more of a community space than anything else. And it's just a great way to see how our educational and research backgrounds can kind of collide into a community space like this, especially with how difficult it is just being in Ohio. Yeah, it's a fun time. But for this iteration, I did an outreach, so I basically just harassed people on email and emailed hundreds of people several times. That's all I have to say. It really just depends on the people, I think. I feel like, yeah, it very much depends on like who's exhibiting and what they're specifically looking for, but it always has something. The common like note that I've seen is always kind of seen as a place to like kind of get away from whatever is happening, and it's kind of like a creation of like the third place. You know, just like in society, the first place is like your home or like where you were like living and sleeping. Your second place is like school or work or wherever you kind of have like an obligation to be. And then the third place is kind of this phenomenon that's like disappearing, where it's a place where you don't have to be and you don't like
Cafes.
Yeah.
Libraries.
Like cafes, libraries, spaces like this where it's a community-based center where you have no obligation to be here, you were just here for whatever reason. And I feel like that has always been a common thing of what can we put on that will grab people, what will allow people to have some sort of de-stressor and get away while also being able to actively participate in research that they might not think is research in the first place.
Hi. I don't have any work this time because this is my first Kids Video Play. Though I have been in the OSU for 4 years. And I kind of like being here in the gallery almost every day from day one. So now witness how it grows from like a bare, empty space to what it looks now. And so it's kind of like fulfillment to me, and kind of like seeing a kid grow as a mom. Yeah. And it's very happy to be with these friends, very supportive to each other. I will definitely participate next year with all of you. Yeah.
And the social media posts, most
Yeah.
of the story posts are all by Yan. She came every day to capture the change.
I'm a first-year PhD student from our department, and before I came to OSU into AED, I'm not an educator, and I really appreciate maybe it's our first artist. And Robin replied me that, oh, you don't need to be an artist. It's an art-based research, it's an art-based exhibition. So it's really first time that art-based visitor came into my brain and I said, oh, it's an art-based. So then I started to search a lot of the what is art-based. And before and gradually when I studied more about our department course, because my specialization now is management and policy, but we actually learn a lot of the basic, a lot of the fundamental was about art education. So, and Dr. Kalechka said to me that art education, art policy, culture policy, each of them are combined very closely. So we can't to only think, especially to only think about art education or think about what is cultural policy. I think this idea is really inspired me a lot to think about what I should do and who am I here. And TLP exhibition in here this year, I think is really contribute to communicate space and safe space to give us to express our own opinion. And I think there's a very good thing that we don't have to say something. We can use like everybody's expression to express more, as a space to express our ideas. Sometimes speaking sentence is too direct. Yeah, I think it's a soft way to share our ideas to communities.
Person, and thanks to everybody online and was online and anybody watching the recording after we're online. And thank you to, hold on. Wait, there we go. Thank you to, he has amazing weekend plans. He hasn't invited us, but he shared them with us. I wanted to also, I don't know why I'm picking on you, I'm sorry. I wanted to also say thank you to Lingran and Xiaoxiao this year. I'm kind of joining in the capacity almost like of an alumni. Usually the alums that have joined, I'm sorry, my Latin's terrible, I know my plurals are wrong here, but the alumni that have joined us have usually been off campus, but I'm on campus, I'm teaching, and my responsibilities look so different, and the types of questions I have are so different than before, and very few of them are about research, and most of them are about bureaucracy, and it was just a very different place. So I appreciate everybody kind of giving me like a little grace with my kind of, I'm just at a different headspace than I was last year for sure. However, when Xiaoxiao said, let's make a tree, I was like, yeah, why not? It's very K-12 aesthetic, why not? So, that's what we see.
So at first when I proposed, like let's make a research wish tree in the gallery because considering the current political climate and everything that's going on, it's a lot to process. So I feel like we need a space to kind of place our hope and also a spot for affirmation. But part of me also feel like this idea might be a bit cheesy or like that. But when I proposed it, I think Noor, Lingran, and RuoYi supported the idea immediately, so that was very helpful. And we also brainstormed some idea about how to bring the tree into life in the gallery. At first, we thought about using the tape, but for me, I really wanted to make it more three-dimensional. So that's the moment when I visited Urban Arts Space to see what kind of materials they have, so that we could utilize in the gallery space. And as Noah mentioned, because this year, like everybody has limited So we did not apply any funding, any grant to make this exhibition happen. And Dr. Banner and also people at Urban Arts Space has been very supportive when I reached out. They said they have materials they are giving away and also they could share with us. So when I go to Urban Arts Space to have a meeting with people to talk about the exhibition, I thought it was a magical moment that Dr. Banner and also Kate just sit down at the table with me, and I talked to them through the ideas that we have, and everybody kind of helped me think about how to materialize these ideas in the gallery. And what I mentioned about this research tree, and Kate mentioned her mom actually created a three-dimensional tree using brown paper, and then we did a Google search. I was like, that's a perfect idea. We do have brown paper, and that's how the tree came into being. And also Tamryn and Aelim. Tamryn bought the brown paper, and Aelim bought the leaf sticky notes, right? Yeah. So everything kind of waved in to make this happen. And then the folks all over. Yeah, exactly. And also for the building part, I think Noor and Lydia took a lot of efforts to put the tree happen.
I think it looks great. I think you should do it on a massive scale. We need it. Like I feel like this on campus right now, like you say, you know, just a process that everybody is experiencing. I can just imagine a big research wish tree.
Exactly. I can share a little bit about, I guess, my engagement with the exhibition this year. So, my name is Xiaoxiao. Yeah, I can't exactly see people that's online. Wait, let's do this. I'm waving to you.
Give me the spring water.
Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, so it's my 4th year's participation in Chase Play, and for this year, I guess this year I took on the role of being the exhibition contact person. But for me to take on this role at the beginning was to kind of be a facilitator, because we have a lot of new members and we don't have enough people on campus. So I felt that I have the responsibility to assist them, navigating their way into the collective and also learning more about the exhibition. But I guess I also end up being a lot more engaged than I planned, from planning the exhibition to sourcing materials and also coming up with 4 ideas and prompts for the gallery. That's from share the walk. So yeah, for this this idea came from a walking map from my research practice while I was in Chinatown. So I tried to document my walking in the community, because I believe we can have stereotypes or ideologies towards particular community very easily if we don't have enough understanding. But when you are actually walking in that space, the learning you get out of it is totally different. So I try to translate that virtual space, very conceptual idea, with this virtual map, and the idea was also supported by Kun, and also in that conversation with UAS, because I wasn't sure if we can hook in so many nails on the wall, and I know that I wouldn't have the energy to fix the wall as well. And then Kun mentioned that the interns could do it, and on the day of the installation, Zach and helped us to install all these nails, and they didn't complain at all. So thank you. So again, which I do socially engaged art. Practice a lot, and it basically means that art is collaborative, participatory, and it focuses on the interaction between the audience and the artists as well as the artwork. So I feel transferably as a venue or as a collective has been embracing that